Hello guys, welcome to the series Cisco basic tutorial. Basic configuration of router, switch, and let's start now. So for this, I'm going to show you the devices. So we have the routers, switches, and everything here you can see. But as of our focus is only on router, switches, and devices which are going to connect the laptop or desktop and this connection we're going to use. So commonly we're going to use this straight cable. This is a cross cable. Just use this mm, for all this lab. Okay, I'm going back and we're going to use 1841 as of our lab and Cisco 2960 better. So this one and devices. Let's use PC. So this is it. This is our lab. Now we're going to use a straight cable connection. I'm going to connect FA01 instead, and I'm going to GA01 instead, so it will be easy to. And then here, 0, FA0, and then here, FA01. So now, so we are connected now. Um, this is the emulation I'm going to use. Wait, just say I have a laptop. Let me check if I can do that. Let's say I'm going to get to the initial configuration using the row console cable. Connect to console RS232. So that's it. Let me configure that first. So here I'm going to go to desktop and use terminal. This is the terminal. This is the default connection. Click OK. So I'm here on the laptop connected using the console cable. Let me do the configuration. Enter, type enable to go to privilege mode. So this is the user mode. This is a greater than sign, and then this sharp sign is privilege mode. You can type question mark if you don't know what you're going to type. Yeah, that's it. You can set clock and everything here. Let's see, yeah, clock. It's in actual router or switches. There are a lot of commands, but in Packet Tracer, it's very limited, only for the purpose like for CCNA purpose. So, by the way, let's go back to um, I'm going to do something here. Let me check. Where is it? I'm going to type something. Yeah, this one. So what I'm going to do is first what we're going to do in the switch. Let's do the host name. These are the things to configure. Host name, so it will be easier. Enable enable secret, and then let's do the service password encryption, so we will not forget service password encryption. Wait, uh, so service password encryption, then line bty line console. What else? VLAN one. What else? So we have host name, line VTY. What else? Write memory, write memory to save, huh? Don't forget. So let's do that. Just basic configuration. Let's change the host name of this switch. So let's go back. So I need to go on here. Yep. So let's do the configuration. So let's go to config terminal to go, you should be in config mode to configure hostname, enable secret and everything, all except the write memory. Huh? So in config mode, we'll type hostname. Means if you don't know what to do, let's say type the word. Okay, this is the first switch. I'm going to put SW1. So that's it. Hostname change. And now let's do enable secret. Enable secret is the device password. Huh? When you type enable, that's a password you're going to as a device. So enable secret. Let's do enable secret. Let's put Cisco instead. Hmm. Enable secret Cisco. This is the password. When you type enable, it will ask for a password. This is it. That's Cisco. Nice. Let's put service password already. Service password. I want to type it to encrypt the all the password that we're going to use, like in line BTY and line console. So that's it. And let's do line VTY. Let's go to line VTY. To go that, let's type line VTY. So if we put question mark 015, I just want to configure maybe 5. So it's 0 to 4, 5 virtual terminal. 0 to 4. So there are like 5 connections the device can accept. If you're going to remote it, like 5, if you're using as a lab and one device for 5 people, they can configure it. So they can manage the device. So that's for the virtual terminal connections. So I'm configuring 5, turning on 5 virtual connections. Let's say password, mm, Cisco VTY, and login. That's it. And I will exit, and then go to line console. If you don't know, question mark 0 only. You cannot type anything other than 0. So it's only 0, not 1, not 2, not 3. So it's only one console. So let's say password is Cisco console. So we're not be confused of the password if we're connecting using the console using telnet or line VDY. So Cisco console if you're connecting using the console cable, Cisco console. That's the password. So this time, let me log in. Okay, that's it. And let's go exit. I'm going to press uh, let me show you. Do show if you want to see some of the configurations you did earlier. Do show run. So enable secret. See this. This is the password. Actually, it's the Cisco. It's encrypted. And this is the line console 0. The password. This one is Cisco console. It's encrypted because of service password encryption. If you didn't type it, if we didn't type this earlier, you will see here as Cisco console and then Cisco VTY here. Since I typed the service password encryption, and you won't be able to see Cisco. It's already hashed. So let's go here. I'm just showing you that line console 0 is already configured with a password, and then line VTY 0 to 4 it's already configured with this password. So that's it. And let me go and show IP interface brief. So this command, as prior to, it's also helpful. So you cannot type show here. You need to put every time do first before show. If you're outside the config mode, in enable mode, yes, you can just go straight to show IP interface brief. But if you are in a config mode, you need to type do first before show. So that's it. So we can see. So VLAN is unassigned in manual administratively down. So you need to first configure this. So let's go to interface VLAN. If you want to go to interface, just type interface tab. I go to VLAN 1. So I'm on VLAN 1 now. So what I'm going to do is IP address. IP address, I'm going to say 192.168.1.10. So I always use 10 when I'm dealing with VLAN IP address. So with the subnet 255.0. So that's it. And don't forget to no shut. As you can see here is administratively down, means the interface is in down mode. So you need to type shutdown to make it work. So that's it. And now it's up. So if you type that, and let's see if we can manage, because we turn on everything but we didn't save it yet. Let me use this PC. I'm going to show you this PC to connect, but I don't have yet IP address, so I need to static IP put I static 192.168.1.11 I'm going to use. So that's for now, just to test if telnet is going to work on this device. Let's say telnet 192.168.1.10, the device, the VLAN. So we're going to telnet. See, it's working. So what's the password? Since we're connecting using the telnet, this is the virtual connection, terminal connection is Cisco VTY. Oh, let me check. Cisco VTY. Yep. And then the enable, this is the enable when the enable secret. So that's the password enable. It will ask for password, that's Cisco. So far, show, run. So those are the command that we configured. So that's a basic configuration for the router. But here, don't forget to save your configuration. So we say write memory, and then it will save. Another thing is copy running. Copy the running config to startup config. That's it. Any of these two. Don't change the name because this is the startup config. It should be saved as startup config name, or else it will not work. So that's it. So we have a fully running and can be managed. So this time, I'm going to copy this. Copy. So I'm going to show you another. So this is for uh, instead of VLAN, interface VLAN, interface FA, fast Ethernet. FA, FA 01. We're going to configure that. So that's it. Same thing we're going to use, or we're going to configure. So let me get that connection. I will put on console. So since it's already down, it means there's no connection between these two. So let me configure. Oh, I've connected. That's wrong. I connect to FA. It should be on console. And let me start configuring now. I'm going to say I'm going to use the terminal, and then okay. So no, say no, because it's for. So first thing we'll do is enable. So everything is factory. Show IP interface brief to see all the interfaces. So it's all down. So we're not going to configure the VLAN here because we're going to use the router as a router. So let me check. Oh no, let's so configure terminal. So that's it. Now, so what we're going to do is configure the host name. Host name is R1. This is the router one, first router R1. So that's it. Let's do enable secret. So the enable password, the enable the secret, the password that we'll ask when we type enable. So that's a password. Enable secret is Cisco service password. Let's type that. No, let me type it later on. Let's do line VDY. Line. I want to show you later. VTY 0 to 4, same. We're gonna open 5 virtual terminal to connect here. So line VTY 0 to 4. Let's say password will be, of course, Cisco VTY for this lab. Okay, login. So that's it. And then we'll go to console line. You can type exit, exit, and then let's go to line console. And you can also type direct line console 0. And then let's put the password is Cisco console. And that's it. And then login. So that's another thing. So we're done interface FA01. We need to go to FA01. So I'm going to exit or type interface FA01. Much better exit and type interface. We're going to interface. This is how to go to interface and configure it. Interface FA01. And then we're in the interface. And then let's type IP address. So 192.168.1.1. I always type the first valid IP address when I'm using the router, assigning IP to the router. It's always 1 most of the time, and 10 for VLAN. It's if it's on the lab, so it will be easy to remember. That's 0. So that's it. Don't forget to put no shutdown. So that's it. If you will check here, see, it's green means it's up, and then it's 1 is just turning on. So I'm gonna show you one thing. Previously I type enable, I put or I type service password encryption. Let's do, I'm going to do show um running config. So it's already encrypted. Spacebar. See this and see this if you didn't type service password encryption. So what I'm going to do is type service be oh so be sure that if you're typing service password encryption, you are in the config mode, not in the interface mode. Okay, so service, or else it will not work. Encryption, that's it. And then we'll go to show run again, and you can see here, see, after that. So that's a basic, it's really straightforward configuration of um, Cisco router. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you. I will configure this with what do you call this? Using, I'm gonna try if I can connect using the telnet to this. Let me. So I'm here. Actually, this is okay. You can go straight to telnet, even though you're on switch one. Telnet 192.168.1.1. Look, see, Cisco VTY. Remember, if you're connected using the what you call this IP address, that's a virtual terminal. You're manually or remotely connected. So that's it. So password will be um Cisco VTY, and if you type enable password, the password is Cisco, the device password that we type. So show run. So everything. So you can switch now to, if you're in run, you just type Control Z. Let's see. You can type exit and you'll go to switch again. Let's type exit. We'll go back to switch. Yeah, switch. And if you exit again, we'll go to computer. See prompt. So that's it. Actually, you can switch everything if you configure your router or your devices, the telnet or the for remote connection. If you enable, you can switch. You don't need to go to C again and then connect to telnet. No. You can go straight to connect. So that's it for the router. So let's what we miss here is to save the configuration. So let me telnet 10 Cisco VTY. So the 10, remember 10 is the switch. Enable Cisco. I'm going to connect to um, telnet. I'm going to exit and connect up exit. Say, to type Control Shift 6 and then we're exit to abort that. Now I'm going to exit and then type connect directly telnet 192.168.1.1 Cisco VTY and then enable and Cisco. So now we forgot to save the configuration. Oh, it's copy run start copy running config startup config. So yeah, so it's saved now. You can turn off your packet tracer and then you can go back here with the save configuration. So if ever you have like that or your devices, you can now turn up without worrying you're gonna lose the configuration. So another thing that I'm going to show you is as of now, I'm gonna show you. So let's connect another computer here. So this is the PC01 and I'm going to use the fast Ethernet. Oh, let me check. Yeah. So here I'm going to connect to two fast Ethernet 2. As you can see, if remember guys, you cannot connect to telnet if you don't have the IP address that belongs to same subnet. So I'm going to go to DHCP. The problem is we don't have the DHCP. So we are going to set the DHCP on the router. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you will not type every time. So first thing to do is what you can do on the router, just go to config and IP DHCP say excluded first. We can do the excluded IP address. What do you mean by excluded IP address? Oh, wait, I want to show the using the console instead. IP DHCP excluded address. Let me say, I don't want to assign 192.168.1.1 until the higher is 192.1.10 because that's from 1 to 10 I will not assign that. And then I'm going to create IP DHCP now. Pool, pool setup. Then what's the name of that pool? My net 1. So that's it. Yep. Okay. I am on DHCP mode now. If you don't know what to do, just type. So let's configure this network first. Network. This is our network. Of course, we know 192.1.0, not 1 because 1 is a valid IP address. That's not a network. It should be a network 255.0. So that's a subnet. How big is the network? So that's it. So next is type the DNS server. So DNS server, I put only tab to go autocomplete. DNS server is 8.8.8.8. That's a Google DNS server. We're going to use just for this lab and for most of the lab. Next is you can put domain name. Let's say domain name. Let me check it. Cisco Lab. just a domain name. No? CiscoLab.com. And let's try to if you have the network, the HCP of like this, so you should assign this to the interface of the router, which this like the HCP you know, will be dedicated to. So this the DHCP I created will assign to this is the default router. So meaning the default router is I will assign to this interface. This interface will give the DHCP. Okay, 1.1. My default router is 192. That one. Make sure that it is assigned on 1.1. So if you have like another 10 dot something dot something dot something, and this is your network, no, it will not work. It should be on the same network. No, this is your router, and then this is your network. So if this 10.10 you assign to 10, you're saying that your network is on here, and then 10.10 is a completely different network, so it will not work. So now it's already configured, and let's see on our this one. We don't have the IP address here. Let's go on desktop and static. Let's put it on DHCP if we are going to receive an IP address. Yeah, we got 12 here. And here, yeah, DHCP it already got because it's already sent to this. So far, our DHCP is working properly. It's very easy and it's very fast. So that's only the basic router and um, um, switch configuration. I hope this has been informative to you, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next slide. Bye bye.